The Cedar Falls Historical Society is going to be opening a new exhibit on the history of the Cedar Falls Fire Department to celebrate its 150th year. To celebrate the 150th year of the Cedar Falls Fire Department, the Cedar Falls Historical Society has opened an exhibit about the history of Cedar Falls Fire Rescue.
Well, we're launching our new exhibit for 2017 about Cedar Falls Fire Rescue and their 150th anniversary. Throughout the exhibit, we have the history of the department. We talk about some of the technology that's changed over time. We touch on some of the historic Cedar Falls fires and also talk about river rescue and fire safety and prevention.
The exhibit will run throughout 2017 and started with an open house on February 23rd.
The exhibit opening will be on February 23rd from 4 to 6. We'll have an open house, and then the exhibit will run throughout 2017 through mid-December.
There will be many programs highlighting different parts of firefighting throughout the year to go along with the items and information on display.
Well, we've partnered with Cedar Falls Fire Rescue to have programs throughout the whole year. So we'll have everything from a program about the history of fire equipment to another about the history of the department. This summer we'll have a story hour where one of the firefighters will read to kids, and we'll also have them demonstrating river rescues this July, since that's a big part of what they do. And we will be having this fall a 5-alarm chili cook-off, partnering with the Women's Club, and we'll also be working with Community Main Street to do a tour of some of the downtown history and some of the fires that influenced the Main Street district.
This particular exhibit has been a bit more of a challenge than some because of the window of time that is being covered between 1867 and present day.
Well, it's been a fun exhibit. We've worked a lot with the Cedar Falls Fire Rescue to get some of their perspective on the history, but it's been surprisingly hard to get some of the details that we were curious about, especially looking at some of the historic fires that affected Cedar Falls and the buildings and the downtown district and throughout the city. So it required kind of going through and finding historic images, looking through newspapers to get some of those more personal details about the fires that influenced our city.
Between the Historical Society and the Fire Department, quite a gathering of equipment and artifacts has been assembled at the Victorian Home.
We have a number of pieces on display that are from our own collection that shows some of the artifacts that were part of some of the buildings that were damaged in fires, but we also borrowed a lot of equipment from the Fire Department. So we have some exhibits of older equipment, current equipment that might be used for fighting fires. We also have some hands-on spots so people can try out the weight of a fire hose or try on a helmet and boots and see what it feels like to kind of suit up. And then we also have a hands-on kids corner where kids can try on more like a costume for firefighting and read some books and do some puzzles and climb in our fire loft. So we've really tried to appeal to all ages with this exhibit since we know people are really interested in learning about that history.
Last year, the Fire Department approached the Historical Society with the idea to coincide with the historic year.
Well, the Fire Department approached us just over a year ago, right when we were starting to think about our next exhibit for 2017, and let us know that it was their 150th anniversary and they were excited to honor that. And so we said, perfect timing, we're working on next year's ideas, and it took off from there.
The exhibit opened on February 23rd with an open house event and will be open to the public until December of this year. For more information about this and other exhibits, visit cfhistory.org. The exhibit is just a small part of the celebration of the 150th year of Cedar Falls Fire Rescue, so be sure to check back to Channel 15 for more information.